Test, test. Test, test. Be ready shortly here. Okay. In 3, 2, 1. All right, so I have all the gear lined up and camera's cooled. And we're ready to rock. So where do we want to go? It's still a little blue skyish out right now. NGC 7226. Let's just see what this will do. It's not in the database. Oh, space, that's why. All right, let's get this up to See what we can see here. There's something. That's not what I thought it would be. Let's go to 4. And max gain. And we're on, what do we have for a filter? The GNB. Okay. Oh, stop, Jeff, stop. Let's make this, oops, 60. And see what happens. Test. There we go. So I'm fine-tuning my SharpCap autofocus settings. Mainly because it takes a little longer than I think it should, so by backing down on things, I think it should help me out, speed that up. Oh, you know what? I forgot to take off. My Polar Master thingy. That'll drive. The nuts, because it's a lot of weight, or I don't want it. It is very warm tonight. Hey, Jack. So I'm doing a quick autofocus test here. I'm trying to, oops, what's going on? The mount's moving. Why is the mount moving? Kind of hard to get a good test when, let's stop that. Yeah, it shows your little picture, so it must be pulling that, you must have your face in your one of your YouTube channels, because it shows your picture. It's very warm. here. A lot warmer than, what am I doing? Just making sure. Is the camera not? Stop. Why is it moving? It's like the tracking's wrong or something. I bet you that's it. I accidentally hit the tracking. No? Interesting. It's one of those days, Jack. Oops, I didn't want that. Oh. I think my audio is better today. I figured out that and if I don't turn the power on to the mic before I plug it in, it won't see it. So you were getting my laptop's microphones, which is why it was so funky. Looks like the stars have settled down. Yep, much nicer. Sometimes you just have to do what you got to do, you know what I mean? So I have to get the focus close before I run the test because it goes negative first, and then it will work its way back through prime focus. And it's too far. I got another time lapse today, and it's a new feature I've never seen before. It's like really wispy filaments that are like, of course it's a time lapse, so this happened over an hour. They were moving. And it was like a little piece of it would go from one side to the other side. Just the coolest one that I've seen. So I've got to run the test. Okie doke. You aren't going to miss anything. Okay, let's get the Raza going. Okay, prime time. I wonder if I can do this. So. Jesus, what a region. I need something to hang this from. Damn it. That looks good. Let's check that. And let's make a sequence. Let's center and guide on 30 minutes. Come on, you can do it. There you go. 180, 30. Do the run, and we'll do it every 10 minutes. Or every 5 minutes, that's what we want. Okay, here we go. Raza is now cooking with gas. And this is almost done. I think I might have gone a little too far here. Still in focus though. Well, I must say that the swan is looking good in the Raza tonight. I definitely have better skies tonight than I did last night, so. I think Pan Stars is up. Do you think that would be worth a shot? The only thing is there's no comets in, I have to think about this. Maybe I can use Nina to go find it and then jump back into SharpCap. Because the catalog doesn't have comets. This is almost done. I hope. I'll tell you what, Jack, this carbon fiber tube I put on this thing really saved me, because I used to have to, as the night cooled down, I had to focus every 10 minutes. It was terrible. Pan stars, I believe. C, what is it? Back on this guy. It is right here. It's C2021S3. But I don't know how bright it's going to be in the big picture scheme of things. And there's the first image. Okay. Let's go back. Oops. Damn it. Okay, looks like it's got good. The test is done? No? Nope, not yet. You can see down here is the curve. When we get a couple going up, we'll be in good shape here. And then it will calculate settings. Now it's going up. And geez, the Raza is guiding at 0.05 RMS errors. Holy crap. That's unbelievable. What did I do to deserve that? I lost you. Wait a minute here. It should, yeah, 13.3. So what I'll do, I got a curve now, and it's finding focus. So I have focus. I can close all this stuff. And what I need to do is shut the camera down here. Close camera. Let's jump into Nina. Come on. Oh, I'm hitting around. Man, my brain is not working today. So this is another way you can plate solve. I'm actually using Stellarium. I'll pull in the coordinates from Stellarium into Nina, and then I'll use Nina to find the target. Then I'll shut the camera down and jump back into SharpCap. Hope that made sense. So I'm going to turn the camera on. I don't need it cooled. I'm going to turn the mount on, and that's all I need. So now I'm going to the framer. I'm going to pull in the target, which that's it. I'm going to slew and center, and the mount's moving. So all I'm using Nina for is to find the target, because I've located it in Stellarium. Where is Stellarium? Right there. I probably should have done that. So Stellarium has the coordinates. Then I will jump into Nina. Nina, where are you? I'm just going to stop this because I'm not sure I got the right coordinates. And now that I'm very sure I have the correct coordinates, after it does its plate solve and says that everything is good, I'll jump in, I'll stop the camera and Nina. I think that's it right there. Maybe. There's a fuzzy thing right there. Okay, so it's found the target. Now I'm going to go back to equipment and I'm going to stop the camera. And I'm going to jump back into SharpCap and start the camera. And let's go max gain. And see what we get. Excuse me. Don't see a thing. It might be the smoke is just blowing it out. Let's try a little stack. There's something right here. I want to go to here. Let me reset this. I can also up the exposure to 6 seconds. Let's see if that helps. Pointing to the left, huh? Am I guiding? I'm not guiding. Okay. Let's see what we can see here. Let's knock this down to, say, 6. And let's move a little weak. I'm wondering if that's it there, because it is pointing left. And it's streaked. We'll let it clear out a little bit. Cool. YouTube keeps yelling at me because I got my bit rate so low, but it looks plenty good enough to me. I think this is it here, Jack. It does look like a little fuzzball. Hopefully this should clear out pretty quick. Oh my God, I got 2 likes. Go figure. Just zoom in a little bit here. I think that's it. What is that, Jeff? That's a dither. One bad one, so maybe let's make it 7. Do I have enough programs open? So this is C2021 S3, I think, Pan Stars. Magnitude, very faint. 13, what'd you say, 13 something? 13.3. Really zoomed in here. What Stellarium is showing is like a little, it's just like a little puffball. So you got the core and then there's like a puffball around it. I don't know how accurate that is, but that looks like a puffball to me. So that's 3 minutes in the stack. Let's zoom out and just make sure that is it's a little off. Although who knows when those coordinates were last updated. So it could have moved. Easily could have moved. Because I don't see anything in the center other than this. We got 4 minutes. So you can see how with each dither, slowly all these hot pixels disappear. Because there was a lot more of them before. And it's generally, I really notice a big change at 10 minutes. And then at 15, there's another change. Deal with it, YouTube. Deal with it. Just does not like my stream. But I'm not going at 6 kilobits per... or 6,000. That's what they want. You don't need that much for a 1080 stream. Get with the program, boys. Well, I think what we'll do is just take this out to 10 minutes, and that should probably be enough for this guy. So we got a nice close pairing of stars right there. Just yell at me again. So let me see if I can get OBS to, this is C/2021 S3 Pan Stars, is that how you spell it? Whoa. What happened here? Must be in the trees or something. I think that's what happened. And you can see, I think it's getting longer. This thing's pretty far away now. Stop the stack. What the heck happened here? Oh, no, no, no. Okay, we'll go to 10 minutes. I think it's getting a little elongated, so that's probably the direction of travel is this way. I don't want to waste a lot of time on this. Is so faint. And a plane just flew through my Raza shot. Nice. So yesterday with the Raza, Jack, I'll show you. There is this here, the Draconoids, I think it's called. I centered on this. So and I took 180 frames, 30-second, 180 frames. And I'm going to try and figure out a way that if there's any Draconoids in the shot, it will show in the stack. So where do we want to go next, Jack? What's beeping at me? That's beeping at me. I think we're in a tree. That explains much. So let me stop this. Let me stop this. And let me get rid of this. Yeah, I think that's the comet there. So do you have another target in mind here? I'm going to stop this at 10 minutes. It looks like it's stretching out and it's going this way. Okie doke. I'd like to try, you know that, what was it called? Starfish? Actually started cleaning up pretty good, but then I got a lot of smoke, so It was yes and no on that. I bet you tonight it would probably be better. We could try that one again. Even that, the broken ring, whatever that was. It's definitely getting longer. Yep. Longer, longer, longer. Do 100 frames. NGC 6781. Okie dokie. Stop. .47. That's pretty good for the big scope. Alrighty. Oops. Where am I going? Here. NGC 6781. Oh, the snowball. That's going to be tiny, but we will try it. And it might be in a tree, so we'll see what happens. Now, let me look at the Raza. I gotta find something for the Raza. A little higher. Okay, there's something that'll work. Okay, let's see what we get here. I might be in a tree here, Jack. Yep, I'm in a tree. Another suggestion, please. 6946. Oh, fireworks, we should be able to see that. We can go after that. One thing you will find when you start plate solving, Jack, is everybody has their own opinion on what is centered. And it's generally, it's a region. There it is right there. So let's go to 16. Let's see what we get here. Yeah, this will work. I even like the focus for a change. So let's jump into the deep sky stacker. See what the F's on here. Oh, I need to start guiding. For it to do anything. There we go. Just gotta let it build up a little bit. Now I'm currently using the Galaxy Nebula Booster filter, so like you see this star's got a little bit of a halo. That's one of the traits of this filter. But what it really helps is with those star forming regions in a galaxy like this where they're red, we'll be able to see that. Okay, so let me get stinking Raza going again. That's a pretty area. We'll just do this. I've been really going for stuff that I haven't seen before. And that I really have to, I only get like one chance out of the year to see them. Start the guide, our focus is on 180, 30, go. You can see my skies are, they aren't the best, but at least they're stable. You can already see right through here are some of those star forming regions in the arms. So this has got potential. What's beeping at me? All right. You can already see in the core some of the black stuff in the arms is starting to to form up. Oops, wrong one, Jeff. Well, it isn't quite the same as what happens in Live Skies, because Live Skies, there's millions of people on YouTube. And to be able to have that type of fidelity for a channel would be pretty amazing. Now, what I can see is there's 5 concurrent viewers watching right now, and that over the course of the broadcast there's been 26. And then there's the average view time. But what will happen to this is that when I stop the live stream, I get a chance to do some editing on it, like clipping the front half, or the front portion that is where I'm setting stuff up. And the same for the back half. And then as soon as I say okay, then that gets saved up to the live portion of my site, and will go to the head of the list. Now, I wouldn't see, like you, I can see your name is listed, but until somebody starts chatting, I really don't have any idea who is on. Like, there's 6 viewers right now, and only you are chatting. We got 5 minutes in here, and you can already see the change. The darker stuff is starting to get enforced. So this should look pretty good in about 5 more minutes. That's one that, regardless, with today's modern CMOS cameras, they really wouldn't know unless they said something on the group. But the difference between this stacker and Mellencamp Sky's stacker is, because I'm at max gain, which I would never want to do in Mellencamp Sky. It's a little noisy in the beginning, but it will average all that noise out eventually. But it slowly builds up the signal, because at max gain, even though the bit depth is the lowest and the dynamic range is the lowest, the read noise is the lowest at max gain, and that's where all the faint photons are. And like that DS8300 of yours, when you get into the HDR mode, that's 0.89, so that's under 1, which is awesome. And then it also, when it jumps into that HDR mode, it goes to 16-bit, which is really what you want. Yeah, it comes and goes. I'm sure, because what happens is there's, on the YouTube homepage, any live stream is it shows up on the home page. And if people just scroll through, they can pick a stream and start watching. Yeah, I hear you. I was the same way. I mean, this is my third night. This hasn't happened in over a year. And I might even be able to get out, let's see, I think Monday was looking good too. No, I revise. Monday is not looking good. I go back into the rain. Pretty much all week. Maybe Monday of next week I might have a chance, but that's too far out for weathermen anymore. But using this technique requires a lot of frames, more so than one would think, because you need, because the exposure is low. Now 16 seconds isn't low, but that's the outside of how far you would want to go using this technique. And we're also, I want to get the signal built up a little quicker, because I don't want to do thousands of frames. I prefer to do maybe a couple hundred or less in this case. I got 10 minutes coming up and I'll probably have 40. So it's still not bad for 40 frames, 35 frames. How you doing? I think we've all failed at one time or another. I know I have. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit because we're starting to see some of the extended arm stuff coming in here. Hey Ed, how are you? Yeah, I can show you. Let me just my skies aren't the best tonight, and that's mainly because of the smoke, so I'm below average for transparency. So we're doing pretty good when you consider that. And then if you want to see what my smoke is like, I'm in the red, buddy. Yes, it is. Now, what I like to do is let the stack build up, get about 10 minutes worth of data, and then you can start playing with the histogram and tightening it up, because as you get more frames into the histogram or into the stack, the histogram is getting tighter. So it kind of, it will shrink, and then in my case, it was moving to the left because I still had some sun out. Now, a lot of the noise is now gone. Could be a long wait, Jack. So now we're starting to see some of that, those red areas are starting to build in. Right through here, through there. And the core is looking pretty damn nice. I don't do more than 90 minutes, Ed, mainly because I have a lot of sats and planes I have to deal with. And that will bring me down to about an hour at worst out of those 90 minutes. And that not so much with the rig you're looking at. This is a C14 at F11. And I'm using my version of the Deep Sky Lucky imaging technique. But with my Raza, that scope, with 1 hour's worth of data, I get beautiful images. And it takes me 15 minutes to process them, and I'm happy. And I can't leave my gear out like that. I wouldn't have it in the morning. It's more than I had. Okay, we're at 13 minutes, and it's really starting to fill in and clean up. And you can see way down here, there's some more star forming regions starting to slowly build up. Now with this is a full frame sensor, so I would never drizzle with this, but because I'm dithering, you could drizzle. So the image just made a big jump, and you right here can actually see red. And those are those regions I was telling you about, that with this filter, with the IDAS GNB, even though you get some haloing from it, it really helps with the star forming regions in galaxies. Oops. SharpCap has so many frickin' ways to do things, I get lost sometimes. I'm a little over, let's just bring, come on. I don't know, how's that look, Jack? Fireworks Galaxy is starting to show its fireworks. Just make sure that I'm not dropping frames. Nope. This one might be worth going out. It's 16 minutes. I'm still amazed. When I first started 50 years ago, plus, you had an eyepiece and you didn't know what color was. It was a little green smudge. Then the first camera I got, my DSLR, I go, oh my God, the color. What's that? I used to develop my own film because you couldn't take it anywhere because they didn't know how to handle astronomy images. So you had to figure out how to do it yourself. And then I bought a Canon 5D Mark III, and it didn't have, it had all the filters in it, so I was losing a lot of hydrogen, but it was a color image, and it was like cool. And then my first Mellencam was, what, 7 years ago? The DS 2.3, and I got the AG 1.2 as a package deal. Then I went to the DS10, the DS16, the DS26, and I'm now with the DS24 and the DS62, and I'm happy. This is really starting to look good now. Yeah. I don't want to blow this. Let me try. Now, my gradient that you see is because of my light pollution. And how this is looking. But you can see all of this stuff right in through here. This is yeah, yeah. Well, I used to do slide film. If it wasn't really well, maybe it was, and they just put them into slides for me. But I had to tell them how many what are those things? The sprocket holes? How many sprocket holes? I would mark the first frame for them, and then they had to go so many sprocket holes, and that was a slide. Then they'd go so many more, another slide. And then those places went through help like there was no tomorrow, and then they got those machines, and those machines were horrible. And then that's when I had to start figuring stuff out. Oh, I forgot to see how many minutes we got here. 20. Yeah, we'll go 10 more minutes and then we'll go someplace else. Cue me up, Jack. Yeah, I modified my Canon. I forget the place. They're out in Seattle. They did the H-alpha conversion for me. And that made a huge difference for the camera. The only problem with the DSLR is that they'll get hot. Like on a night like tonight, you can just watch the temperature go up. And the higher the temperature, the noisier they get. And it's, oops, let me get, there we go. It was good training for astro cameras, because astro cameras being cooled changes a lot of things. And then with the camera I'm using, it's a class 1 sensor. And that changes how you can do things with a class 1 sensor. That's not a bad looking fireworks galaxy. I mean, you could see an arm that goes all the way down to here. And that core is beautiful. It's like I got a little... It's getting cooler out, so my focus has probably changed. Let me see if I can find... solar. Time lapse. Which one is this? Watch right here. You can see right down in here, there's little wisps of filament moving down there. And that's what I had today, Jack, but they were bigger and they were really moving. So this is an hour of time lapse. And this is from yesterday. And the ones I made today are not on this hard drive. Unfortunately. Full spectrum, yeah. If you're going to go that route, you'd be better off buying a cooled astro camera. Talk to Jack. He'll sell you one. Okay, what are we at? I really want to take this to 30 minutes. I'm sure you won't mind, because this is really coming out pretty good for all the smoke I got. I'm going to have some horrible gradients to deal with, but you can really start to see the red is coming out. What is, I mean, my skies are good. It's the transparency is just bad because of the smoke. And you can smell it today. It doesn't smell good either. Oops. I'm beeping. You'd be surprised, Ed. You can get a really nice camera for 600 bucks, cooled. If you don't like new, you should go to Astromart and buy a used one. 6 more minutes, and then we're going someplace else. Did you give me a new one there? Yes, I forgot to answer you there. I have a very neat setup for my C14. As far as the only lifting I have to do is to get it to my stool, and then I put it on the stool, correct her down, and then I lift my mount up to the plate, attach it, and add the weights, and that's it. Easy peasy. Sagittarius is, let's take a peek. There's the teapot right there, so there's a planetary west of the lagoon. Lagoon is low, right? Eagle. Where's the lagoon? Is the lagoon lower? Yeah, here it is, right? Yeah, I think that's it. What's the planetary, Jack? 6440. 6440. When all else fails, just type it in. Well, let's see. Whoops. Let's get the DSS going. There it is. I don't like to leave the DSS on because it's an image. It kind of drags stuff. 645. NGC 6445. Oh, there you go. It's the gem neb. Okay, we can do that. Three more minutes, and we're going to call this one. According to the stats, 42 people stopped by. Doesn't say for how long. Yeah, it looks interesting. That arm is really starting to fill in. I think you could see the more data you get, it slowly starts filling in and enforcing things. But on a night like tonight, because I have so much smoke, I'm also picking up some extra glow from the light pollution. It didn't turn out too bad. Minute and a half. That'll give me 110 frames maybe. Thereabouts. That's not bad. It's doable. There's very little deviation in these numbers, which is surprising. I bought my solar scope on Astromart for $300. It's a doublet. That's all you need for solar. Because I really didn't want to spend a lot of money on a maybe. So I just went out, looked on Astromart. The scope was just listed. I talked to the guy, and there were a few dings on it. No dents, just some dings in the paint. I fixed all that, and I totally rebuilt the scope, cleaned up things, and it performs wonderfully. That little AVI you saw of the sun was made through that scope. I gotta stop talking here. Okay. So this is what that looks like pre-stretch. All right, so now we want to go to PhD, and I'm 0.4 for the RMS areas. That's really good for this scope on a night like tonight. Okay, let's go to, oops. NGC 64, oops, better learn how to type. 6445. Yeah, I really like that. The thing I liked about the cork was you weren't tied to a scope. So you had a lot of options on which way to go. And because even a cheap lunt is not that cheap. I think I'm into my solar rig for, I paid $300 for the scope. I think I paid $1,400 for the cork. I bought a mount, so that was just under $3 grand. So I'm all in for 44 and 3, 4,700. Okay, so let's do a quick, oh, there it was, right there. See it right there? Well, this is going to look good. I'm just going to do a quick focus here, positive maybe. It's basically a racket, I think. Yeah, I like that focus. You can see how much brighter all these little stars just got. So now let's start working on this puppy. We're at max gain. It's in the center. Oh, and I have to start guiding. Connection error. Jesus. Garage motion. What the sun just did something. That's what those beeps were. Oh, my mount's moving again. Why? Start to stack, maybe. Alrighty. Oh, I'm in the wrong thing. That's why. Duh. Sorry about that. It's a solar tool, not the... That's funny. There we go. Okay. Let's just back off on this stuff a little bit. It's got a nice color. And because we're in a bad part of the sky, let's go 875. See if that holds. There we go. to go higher. I shouldn't have said anything about my nice smooth skies. She's a little one. Okay, so a good color. You know, I'm going to up the, what am I on? I'm at 4. Let me go to 6, see if that. Yeah, it's always the way. Oof, just made it. That helped it. Yeah, I wish it would be nice to have one of those. Ed? I'm just got all my gear out on the driveway. Looks like it's got some funky stuff going on. Yeah, out here. Have to let it build up a little bit. Where'd you get a roll-off or build a roll-off, Ed? No, it does not, Jack. I think the, what's it called? Starfish might be better tonight. And so that other one too. What was that called? Yeah, it is. Well, it's starting to tighten up, so let me hit the... You can see how the sky kind of turns red. That's the smoke. So I found 4 clicks down on the red helps quite a bit. But you can see that there wants to be something out here. Three minutes. 6781. Okay. I know a few people that did that. I don't know, have you ever bought anything from ADM accessories, Ed? He, yes, it is. And I may not even, if it's too low, it gets into my tree line. But you can see that there's something that's starting to fill in. And this is on 4 minutes of data, so we might get more than we bargained for here. Never have? Okay. Well, anywho, he lives near me. And he built a new home maybe 5 years ago. And for an observatory, he bought a shed, plastic shed. He poured a concrete pad, and he had a TAC 150 in that thing. Unreal. So I talked him into getting then he had another rig. It was a dual TAC 105 rig. And I set him up with a Harbor Freight lift so that he could pull it out of his driveway, or out onto his driveway from the garage. This is starting to fill in nice, Jack. You can start to see that the extended nebulosity is coming in. Yeah. I'm actually printing some parts for him. I'm going to see how my Raza's doing. Oh, what's with my mount today? I bet you I got cord wrap. Hang on. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh. What's going on with you today? Huh. Oh. Let's stop this, and I already got 76 frames of nothing. Okay. You can see right here, there's a little something going on right in through here. Why are you doing this? Why? Okay, that's not making much sense to me. I wonder if it's because, let me do this. Oops. Did I stop? Stop. So on my Raza, it is, for some reason, decided that it wants to drift all day today. So I'm going to do a realignment, because I only got a 2-star alignment and it may not like that. didn't save any images. Oh well. Some days you're the bug, and some days you're the windshield. Nor have I, Jack. But you can see that it's starting to fill in some stuff. This gets up around 15 minutes. It might be pretty good. Still amazing we can do this stuff. And look at all those stars. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I now have, let's reset this. And let me look at, okay. We'll just start it again. See what happens. I think what it might be is it doesn't start. I leave the desktop before it actually starts imaging. I don't think it likes that. What is a guy to do? Almost looks like a bee, Jack. Got 9 minutes. Okay, so now let's look at the guider. Let's see what happens to that. So we're starting to get quite a bit of detail in there. Thanks a lot, Ed. See you later. Yeah. We could do that. PNG. Uh-oh. I don't know if that's in. We'll have to look at the catalog. That might not be something. PN. Yeah, I don't think PNs are in this catalog. So let's look at Stellarium. PN G007.9 plus, that's a weird name, 03.8. There it is. Oh yeah. It might even be in the field of view here. Or not. See all that stuff that's starting to fill in? It just made a jump. Goes all the way down to here. The Deep Sky Survey doesn't show it, Jack, but that's where it's supposed to be. So it must be pretty tiny. Or at least it's not in, there's no image of it. Let me try HIPS and see what HIPS has to say. That's the little gem. Nada. Yeah, it's got all kinds of stuff going on. It must be very faint, like them PN nomenclatures. What's it say for surface brightness? Gotcha. So I'm thinking that it is just too dim for our gear. Bet you this would fill in nicely with a lot of time. Well, we're not going to give it a lot of time. We'll give it 15 minutes, and that is it. I have a lot of files to process. What is going on with... Okay, that looks good. Open cluster. Sure. We're what, 8 seconds? Got 146 frames. I'll bet you this thing would really look sweet after about 800 frames, because you can see almost like right out to here there's something going on. We're just catching the early beginnings of something. So it says here 53 views, Jack. And the average duration was about 8 minutes, which, it's not bad, not good. Okay, 15 minutes of fame. Away. I'm looking at these guys here. That's probably about the best, I think. Whoops. Let's stop. And clear, clear, clear. So we're going to 64:45. We were just there, I thought. No worries, Jack. Thanks for stopping by. All right, so what I will do is, oops, I don't want that. Star. It was up here somewhere. There's the box nebula. The crucifix. The blinking galaxy. See you later, Jack. Interesting. Well, we can go see the eagle. I can never get... Well, let's see what the Triffid looks like. That is M20. That ought to look pretty good in this. Okay, so is that too... There it is, right there. So let me just move it over a little bit, like that. Yeah, that's it right there. So I'm at 4 seconds. And we'll just build up a bunch of frames here and see what it looks like. think what I'm going to do is go to 8 and clear the stack. Yeah, it's not that difficult, Jack. I'm wondering where is the blue? Am I on the right side of it or the bad side of it? Let's take a peek. There it is, right there. That's the blue. So with this filter, it should come through. I have to go get a coat. It's getting cold out here. That's better. Now, this is a whopping 4 minutes of data, and you can already see a lot of detail starting to fill in here. And this is this blue region, and the blue is very, very faint, so it will take some frames to start filling that in. And you can see some of this wispy dark stuff is only going to get more defined with more frames. And you can just see that the blue made a big jump in this area right here. And all of this with a ton of smoke. So I'm right here in between storms. But the smoke is right there. And if I just zoom out a little bit, you can see all this bad stuff. So these are the fires in California and Nevada. I think most of them are from California. All this smoke. Now this is a C14 at f11, and the camera is a DS24C Tech. I'm at 8 seconds and max gain. And when we first started stacking, there was a lot of hot pixels and noise, and with the dithers, it starts averaging out those hot pixels, and then as more frames come in, this gets sharper and sharper. And a big Yahoo there. Let's see if that got stacked. Hopefully not. You see my numbers are not that good, and that's mainly the wind is picking up. Let me start it again. See if that helps, because sometimes. Now this filter is the IDAS GMB Galaxy Nebula Booster, and it hangs out and has the IR bands are more open with this, which tends to give you some haloing. But outside of that, it's nothing objectable. And it blocks some light that I don't want, like LED light. But there is no filter for smoke. And you can see that this bluish area is starting to get bluer as we get more frames. We're up to 8 minutes, 9 minutes. Excuse me, sorry. So I can do a plate solve here. Because I moved it, and then I can annotate. Yeah, that's better. So this region is mag 9, and then this area is mag 8.5. So smaller is dimmer. Or I'm sorry, jeez. Larger is dimmer. That was a good frame. So let's check the guider, because that's probably a telltale sign. Yeah, right there. And my guess is that I'm starting to get little puffs of wind based on what's happening here. take this one at least to an hour. So, what time is it? 12. And you can now see that there's some areas in here that are very dark, and they're becoming more prominent. Right through here. And that's what the stack, that's what happens. As more frames start building up in the stack, we start getting more signal, and those fainter photons are starting to build up slowly but surely. Now again, this is my version of deep sky lucky imaging at f11. And to be able to get this much information in 8 seconds, I'll take this any day of the week at f11. You can see how much sharper all this stuff is starting to become. And that will continue. Up to a point. I mean, nothing, unlimited number of frames isn't going to help you, because there's diminishing returns. But I would say up to 1,000, and this thing would be unbelievable. And I'm only going to have, in the time that I'm going to spend on it, maybe 150 or less, especially if my skies start crapping out on me. See what happens here. What's in there? Yeah, that came back down. That's the one thing SharpCap can't do, is correct for a gradient. So I have to compromise a little bit, but that's okay. There's that blue region right there. Okay, let's see what we got. We're almost to 15 minutes. Let me check this guy. Yeah, got a little wind. Oops, sorry about that. Checking my other scope. Red spider nebula. There it is. I knew it was around here somewhere. We'll go to that one next. So this is the Trifid Nebula. It's a part of the try not to select anything. So that's the lagoon and the Trifid, and this whole region is in the Milky Way, lower part of the Milky Way. You've got This is the Omega, that's the Swan Nebula, this is the Eagle Nebula. This whole area is just full of beautiful things. I don't want to lose my... Skies aren't too good today. And this is pretty low, so I think I'm going to stop it. On this one. About 18 minutes. And we want to go to 6240. This will be a little higher up, which should help in this part of the sky. And I think that's it. Right there. So why is this scope moving today? That's better. Okay, let's see what we got here. Let's go to just 16. Probably could do just a little bit more. There it is, right there. Okay. And you see how these stars are kind of funky. We only got 6 frames in the stack, but that's the atmosphere, is kind of misshaping these stars. Well, I think I'm going to stop the broadcast. I want to thank everybody that stopped by, and clear skies, everyone.